How I started my suburban garden. Well, let's talk about it. Before I do any project, I will take some lined graph paper and I will mark it out because I'm a visual person and I think it really helps me stick to what my original intentions are. I'm able to think a little bit more clearly. And then I actually have a list when I go to the store, and that prevents me from buying a lot of shiny items that I actually did not intend to have in my space. First things first, I drew it out. And you'll see it here. I use graph paper, just like any other interior designer who's doing mock-up on paper, so that you can get the correct dimensions. I started out with 3 different wooden raised beds. You want to measure your space and then understand how much space it actually takes for you to create a walkway or to create a raised bed. You mark out what you want your raised beds to look like. That's what I did. Rosemary plants, a jasmine plant. You'll see later as I do my garden tour, a lot of these things actually did come to fruition. There's some things I changed. I did not put a tree over here. Trees need a lot of space, and you live and you learn. So I learned some things as I actually brought this plan to life. But this is where everything started. And this also is very helpful for measurements. When you cut those pieces, baby, they're cut. You measure 3 times, only cut once. I mapped out the type of wood I wanted, how much I would need for box 1, box 2, box 3, and even on the back of this particular paper, I did my calculations. Good project management skills is very helpful with this. Write out your list of items that you need, confirm the measurements on those, and then you're able to calculate based off of the prices that you see how much of a budget you need to actually put this in place. This is where everything started, and now I'm going to actually show you some of what I did at a very high level to just get the garden started. The first order of business was to get all of these weeds up. It might look like grass, but when I tell you there were all manner of crabgrass varieties here, I even had hired help here who you see, she's doing a wonderful job, probably did most of the work, of course, but it just would not get the weeds up, so we had to pull in the big guns. We still struggle with the weeds. However, this did give us a chance to get our wood cut, get all of our area prepped. I was able to finish up some of the measurements before it was time to actually start putting things together. So just like you saw in the original drawing, I used what was an attempt to use pocket holes here, but we had a little bit of a struggle with that. And so we went the old-fashioned way with the help of my nephew and started putting the boxes together. It's looking pretty good. My nephew doesn't want to help me. For each of my raised garden beds, I used 2 by 6 by 8s cut into the particular orientation for that bed, and I stacked them too high so it wouldn't break my back gardening. And I connected those together with the Simpson Strong Tie steel plates. The steel plates for those that you see here, and then the angle brackets for corners, just to make sure everything was nice and sturdy and there would be no issues with the garden beds. When I was forming the garden beds, I actually stabilized them first with my brad nailer before I actually screwed them together using my drill on all of the particular sides. It's coming along. It's looking pretty good. And we just have to finish this last one over here and almost be completely done. Probably add a couple more of the what do you call them, braces or brackets to stabilize, and be ready to get the rest set up. If you recall from the drawing at the beginning of the video, I mapped out a walkway using pavers as well as an arch to support the jasmine and the other plants I plan to plant. These are 12 by 12 pavers, and I use them to space all the other pavers out evenly. I use the lasagna method to set up my raised beds. I didn't include in the beginning any wood chips or leaves or things like that, but later on, as time progressed, I did do that. But I used the cardboard initially to create a barrier before then adding the soil. To help temporarily hold the pavers in place, because I had a different idea, which I later changed, you'll see in future videos, I used this sand, and that helped create a nice look, very clean, and I smoothed it out once I was done pouring all the bags with just a simple outside broom. It's coming along, slowly but surely. Some more sand and some more mulch. Last but not least, I cut open all the remaining soil bags I had and packed them down using water before I finally put all my remaining plants in. And I loved it. Thank you so much for going with me on this journey with what started from here all the way to here. If you have not already subscribed and you want to see more, next I'm going to be taking you through my garden tour, showing you exactly how all of this came to life a whole year and a half later. Got to say, I'm pretty proud of where we landed, and just another example that you can do this too. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and of course, share with a friend. Bye.